What is tapioca starch and how is it used? Is it harmful? What is tapioca? How is tapioca starch used in any recipes? What do you use in place of tapioca starch? Is tapioca starch harmful or healthy? Tapioca starch, an alternative to white flour. Tapioca starch, which is widely used in Brazilian, South American, Thai, Asian and Indian cuisine. Thanks to the vitamins and minerals it contains and its gluten-free structure, it is a good alternative to white flour. Tapioca starch obtained from cassava root is generally used as a thickener in dishes such as soups, sauces, and pies. It can also be used as flour. In this article, we examined tapioca starch, which few people know about. We have provided information about the benefits and harms, nutritional value and dishes in which this type of starch is used. If you are ready, we invite you to read the rest of our article. What is tapioca? Tapioca is widely used in Brazilian, South American, Thai, Asian and Indian cuisines, and as a starchy product. Tapioca starch is obtained from the cassava root. Tapioca, pearl, flour and flakes. Tapioca pearls are often used to make bubble tea and tapioca pudding. Also, this product is used as a thickener. Tapioca starch has a high nutritional value. 100 grams of tapioca starch 129 calories. Same amount of tapioca starch 3.9 grams fat, 1 mg cholesterol, 145 mg sodium, 92 mg potassium. 22 grams carbs, 2 grams protein, 71 mg calcium, 0.3 mg vitamin C, 0.1 mg iron, 6 mg magnesium. How is tapioca starch used in any recipes? Tapioca starch is often used as a thickener while preparing dishes such as soups, pies, sauces, casseroles, and desserts. It can also be used as starch flour. It can be used as a substitute for white flour. This type of starch is known to be widely used in Asian, Thai and Indian cuisines. Tapioca starch can be boiled in some dishes and used as a garnish in some dishes. These nutrients find their place in recipes like pancakes, bread, chips, soups, chips, etc. List of gluten-free flours. What do you use in place of tapioca starch? You can get tapioca starch from supermarkets or websites. If you don't have tapioca starch on hand, don't worry, because you can use other types of starch as a substitute. The best substitutes for tapioca starch are cornstarch and rice flour. If you are going to use any of these products in place of tapioca starch, you should have the amount in the recipe. If we need to give an example, if the recipe includes 4 tablespoons of tapioca starch, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch or rice flour will suffice. Another alternative to tapioca starch is cassava flour. Cassava flour, as the name implies, is obtained from the cassava root. There is an essential difference between tapioca starch and cassava flour. Cassava flour is obtained from the whole cassava plant. In tapioca starch, only cassava starch is used. If you are going to use cassava flour instead of tapioca starch, you can follow the recipe exactly. Potato starch can also be used in place of tapioca starch. However, in this case, you need to reduce the amount of tapioca starch written in the recipe by 25 to 50%. You can use arrowroot or all-purpose flour in place of tapioca starch. You can add both flours to your food in the amount specified in the recipe. But we must warn you that all-purpose flour contains gluten. If you have a gluten intolerance or celiac disease, we recommend that you consider alternatives to all-purpose flour. You can visit our website for recipes made with starch. Is tapioca starch harmful or healthy? The harms of tapioca starch are negligible. In fact, this nutrient has no known side effects or harms. However, tapioca starch falls into the starchy carbohydrate category. Like all starches, modified tapioca starch is a food with a high glycemic index. Therefore, those who consume limited amounts of carbohydrates and avoid foods with a high glycemic index may think that tapioca starch is unhealthy. With this fact, tapioca starch has many positive effects on health. Let's see what are the benefits of tapioca starch. Since tapioca starch does not contain gluten, it is a food that can be included in the diet of celiac patients. Those with gluten sensitivity can consume this food with peace of mind. Since it does not contain cholesterol, it protects the human from the risks of cardiovascular disease in regular use. It contains a lot of fiber. In this way, the digestion process is facilitated. It prevents digestive problems such as constipation, bloating and indigestion. Tapioca starch supports weight gain. Let's back up what we mean by numbers. 1 cup of tapioca starch is 544 calories. If you consume food containing tapioca starch, you can gain weight without adding fat and cholesterol to your body. Tapioca starch is a good source of calcium, folate, iron and manganese thanks to the vitamins and minerals it contains. It has a low sodium content. Excessive consumption of sodium leads to the emergence of various diseases, in particular strokes and cardiovascular diseases. To protect yourself from these negative effects of sodium, you can eat snacks made at home with tapioca starch instead of ready-made snacks or packaged foods. Tapioca starch, a food that is high in fiber and carbohydrates, keeps a person full for a long time and suppresses hunger. From this point of view, we can say that tapioca starch is a suitable food for dieters.